Hi everyone, welcome to the Cook with Dicky show. Today I'm going to show you how to cook wonton noodle soup with extra crunchy wonton. This is a very delicious soup that you can cook to eat on a cold day or rainy day. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoy. Please subscribe, ring the bell, and leave comment and like. Here are the ingredients to make wonton noodle soup. I use this wonton wrap. You can buy at any Asian market in the frozen section. The noodle is called egg noodle, thin egg noodle. Again, you can buy at frozen section. There's about 5 or 6 bundles in there. I'm not cooking for 2, so I'm going to use 2 bundles. One of these is for 1 serving. Okay, 1 pound of shrimp. Again, I use 26-30 size. You can use smaller one or bigger one, however you want. I already cleaned, devein, and I reserve in that 1 pound shrimp. I reserve about 7 shrimp that I will make this like a crispy wonton that you can eat and dip in the wonton soup. And I will cut these in half. Okay, because each one of the wrap I'm going to use half shrimp, and then I will add a little sprinkle a little salt in there. 4 ounce ground pork, and in here I have a 1/4 teaspoon of salt and 1/2 teaspoon of sugar, and we use 2 to 3 cans of chicken broth. It depends on if you like more water, you can add extra can of broth. If you don't, I just use 2 cans of broth. 2 teaspoons of oyster sauce, chopped green onion and cilantro. And I also chop 1 stalk of green onion about this big of the size, just so I can put in food processor later, together with the shrimp and pork. A dash of black pepper for garnishing, hoisin sauce, and sriracha sauce to eat with the soup. And I also have this is the shell shrimp that I remove it from the other cooking, and I froze it. I put it in the freezer to get froze so I can use it today. I defrost, and then I'm going to put some water in, just enough to cover the shrimp, maybe a dash, a pinch of salt, and then I will simmer it to cook for like not too long, within 5 to 10 minutes, so I can get the broth, make the broth a little bit sweeter with the shrimp. Let's go cooking. I'm going to put this on the stove while we prepare other stuff. Okay? I'm going to show you how to do the filling for the wonton. While we're doing this, I already put on the pot that I have a shell shrimp on it. Of course, it has to be cleaned first. And I put water, cover it until cover the shell. And I put on the stove top with a little pinch of salt. And put a simmer low heat, and we'll let it simmer for 5 to 10 minutes, and it will be ready to use the broth. After that, you have to, of course, you have to strain the shell out and only use the broth. Okay? And now we're going to do the filling. In here, I'm going to put the shrimp, everything in. Right? And the pork, ground pork. And the onion, green onion, and the oyster sauce, 2 teaspoons oyster sauce. This way it can mix everything together. You don't have to mix them again after you grind the pork, okay? And here, 1/4 teaspoon salt and half teaspoon sugar. Everything I put in. And you can even add a dash of black pepper if you want to. If you don't want to, you don't have to. You can leave it. Okay, we're just going to grind it real fast. On my food processor, I'm going to be turned on. There you go. I think we're about to be done. You see how my pork grind? If you want it very smooth, you can grind a little bit more, but I like to have with the texture, so I fried them, and you can see it have a little bit chunk of shrimp and a little bit chunk of ground pork, so that's okay. If you want, we can even go a little bit, not too much. Just one more pulse. Done. Okay, so now we done the filling. Let me remove it and put it in the bowl. Okay, I'm going to show you how to wrap the wonton. I'm going to cut the package open like this. We're not going to wrap the whole thing since we only cook for 2. Okay. You can, if you want to, you can grab the whole thing and you can freeze it and use it in the short while, like within a month, so that way it don't lose its freshness. Okay, you peel off like this, right? Make sure you separate them. That's gonna be very fast to wrap. So I'm gonna do I think I'm gonna do 12 of these for the wonton for the soup. So here what I do, here's the filling, everything done. You just take a little bit, not too much, right? You put in the middle like this, and you crumble everything together just like this. I'll put on the plate after I'm done. And I'm gonna show you how to wrap the wonton so I can deep fry it. Okay, I'm gonna need, well, it depend on you. If you like to eat a lot of crispy fried wonton, then you use a lot. Today I cut the shrimp in half. Okay. Now I'm going to show you how to wrap you can take some more wonton out. I'm going to make 14 of these. I'm going to make here how you wrap it, because this you're going to deep fry, right? You need a little bit of water, and you put the shrimp like this, half the shrimp like this, and you dip your finger in the water, just plain water, so you can seal them together, just like this. There you go. I can use the same plate that I put wonton in for soup. Okay, I'm gonna show you another one, and then I keep on doing this. And after we're done wrapping this, and we can go cook the soup and ready to eat. Okay. There you go. There's another piece. Use a half of the shrimp like this. You can make this if you want to. If you don't want to, you don't have to. But I like to have a little crunch to it, to the soup. So I'm gonna make this, and my family loves this. See? Right? Another one. Right? Little water around the edge, half the edge. And that's it. Stay together. Very easy to make, right? Here it is, my plate of wonton, this half. The one with triangle piece, I'm gonna deep fry it until it's golden brown and crispy. Right? And this one I'm gonna put in the soup, like 6 of them in each bowl. And if you don't use all the filling, you can wrap it up and freeze it in the freezer. I always do that. So also same thing for wonton. If you don't finish it all, I'm gonna wrap them up real tight with the foil paper, and very tight. Otherwise, it's gonna be dry out. Okay. So if I don't have time to do it today, finish it all, we can, use this next time when we have time to do that, to cook again. Okay, so now let's go over and cook the broth and deep fry some wonton and make soup. Okay, in here that my shrimp broth that I cooked earlier for 5-10 minutes, and I got about like 3 cups of shrimp broth in here. Okay, now I'm gonna add chicken broth. I'm gonna have it on the high heat so it can get boiled. At this point, you just cook the broth first. I'm gonna put in a teaspoon sugar, and about 1 teaspoon of salt, and maybe a tablespoon of this sauce, like that. There you go, my water boiling a little bit, done till we're gonna reboil it later when we're ready to cook the soup and everything. Okay, I'm gonna remove it, and I'm gonna deep fry my wonton right now. I get the pan and I get some oil. Let me get some oil. When you deep fry, make sure you have a lot of oil in there. I can put in a little bit more oil. You can use any kind of oil to fry, really, vegetable oil, canola oil, or any other type of oil. Okay, I think it's good. Now you wait for it to get hot. As I mentioned, I how to test the hot oil. This is, I turn it on the high heat right now. Okay, let me check. Not quite yet. You see when you see the bubbling at the chopstick that I put in, then I mean ready right now, not ready. Can you see? I don't know if you can see it, but I can see it, so I'm going to turn down. I'm at high heat right now, so I'm going to turn down to medium heat. And I start putting my wonton. You see that? You better keep an eye on it because it's going to brown real fast. That's why I turn it down to medium. So like a minute for each side, and you're done. After I fry it, everything is golden brown and crunchy, and I put on the paper towel and put on top so I can drain off the excess of oil. So that way when you eat, you don't feel like so greasy in your mouth. And then I put a pot of water here. I turn the heat up high so it can boil. When it boils, I'm gonna put in this wonton and then the noodle. Okay, I got my water up. It's boiling right now, so I'm gonna do it real fast. Okay, because we're gonna cook again the wonton in the broth. So this one I just kind of blend a little bit to remove all the flour right here. See, just stir it real fast like this. Less than a minute, so I'm going to drain it on colander and set aside. I'm going to do the noodle. Okay, you can use the same boiling water for the noodle. Now I'm going to remove. Okay, I turn it down to low so I can drain the wonton out. Okay, just like that. And I'm going to do it less than a minute to do that. I'm going to turn back up so water can get boil again. Now my water boil, I'm gonna cook the noodle real fast too. Same thing for the wonton. Make sure you separate the noodle out so it don't stick together. See, it stick together like this, so I have to use some, I use chopsticks, so you can use anything that you can separate them. Otherwise it's gonna be a big chunk when you eat. See that big chunk right here? You don't eat, you can take it off. Then I'm going to turn it down, and I can use the same colander that I used for the wonton. I'm going to strain it on that and leave it on the side. Okay, here my soup, my broth. I'm going to turn it on high so I can bring it to boil. My soup broth is boiling. If it has a little white foam like this, you can remove it. I'm going to turn it down to low, medium low, and I'm going to put in enough amount for one bowl. Put in the, remember the noodle that we blanched earlier. I'm gonna go real fast, and I also put in 3, 4, 5, 6 of the wonton. It starts to stick together. That's why I said put in one layer. And you turn it to boil again, and it's ready to eat because the wonton cook real fast. Let me get the bowl and scoop it out. Now it start boiling. I turn it down to medium low. I start getting my noodle out first. Okay, I want my wonton cook a little longer, so I get my noodle out first. I'm going to turn it down. I think my wonton is ready. I'm going to turn it off. So it cooked like about a minute or so. Now I'm going to use the strainer to cook to get the wonton out. There you go. I guess all of it. Okay, I'm going to put in the broth. There we go. We just finished cooking a bowl of soup with noodle and wonton. You can see my wonton and soup. I put in here some cilantro and onion, and I'm going to put in a dash of black pepper. There you go. And this is a hoisin sauce and sriracha sauce. So you can dip the wonton in here, or you can put in the bowl. Here, the way you eat it, you get one of these, right? You can dip in the bowl like this to eat. That's how you put it in, just like that to eat. And either you can put the sauce inside. If you don't want sriracha sauce, you don't have to. You can put some hoisin sauce inside, and then you take wonton out. You dip in here and eat along with the noodle and the soup. That tastes good and yummy. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. See you in my next video.